Dragon Ball Z and the Diathesis-Stress model of mental disorders or pathology. Dragon Ball Z and the Diathesis, it's a very difficult word to say, that's probably why I'm going to routinely mispronounce it to demonstrate its unnecessary complexity. It could have been named something very much easier to say, but you can't say it very often. The more you say it, the more you'll mess it up. The stress model. We'll just call it the stress model of mental disorders. What does this mean? Let's start with that, the stress model. It means that you are born with a genetic, let's say you're born with a genetic vulnerability or genetic potential to develop a mental disorder like schizophrenia or bipolar. Let's say it's in your genes, but just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to come to life. It just could. It's like all your potential. But if you are stressed enough and in the right way, your genetic potential will become unlocked. And the higher your genetic vulnerability, the less stress it takes. But if you're going to really unlock yourself, you have to put yourself in very intense stress. Or find yourself in very intense stress. And that's a subtle distinction, which is why I'm going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z to teach this principle. But you can either find yourself in stress that you did not intend to have. That's the Goku way. Goku is a Saiyan, which means he's like a strong primate who turns into a giant ape when the moon's full. And unless you cut his tail off, and then he will not turn into an ape when the moon's full. And Saiyans are they're like, they're monkeys mixed with humans, right? And they probably get a little prejudice, get called monkeys because literally they have tails and they turn into apes. And so they're kind of like hyper-masculine, right? Because they just got a little more of that primordial stuff in them, like a tail, but they have this potential, I'm assuming all Saiyans do, to change forms into Super Saiyan, which means it's like a level unlock. It's not a mental disorder per se. It's more like a pattern of bodily chemicals that empowers you to be the best you can be at that time. And Goku kind of famously tries to and successfully saves the day. And he's fighting evil. And his quest to do the right thing and to stand and block evil from happening and injustice. And the stress of the situation, pushing himself to protect people and to protect what's right, led to him unlocking Super Saiyan mode. And it was a very inspiring episode, a couple episodes when that happens, and boy, I'll never forget it. So the Diathesis-Stress model said, Goku had the genetic potential to become Super Saiyan, but it didn't happen until the opportunity or the circumstances brought it out of him. He had to be stressed enough for it to be unlocked. Okay, let's transition to Vegeta, who was also a Saiyan. And he's kind of a different type of, Goku's kind of the everybody loves him, good guy hero, and Vegeta is the jealous prince who's hell-bent on progress and being the best for the best sake. And so when he finds out that Goku, who is like a frenemy or a rival that inspires Vegeta to strive to be better, when he finds out that Goku achieved that state of enlightenment or power of Super Saiyan, he wanted to do it himself. But he did it in a different way than Goku did. He didn't, save the world or save a world and by striving to stand against evil, unlock genetic potential. Vegeta trained. Like he trained himself. Like he put himself in artificial situations, training simulations where he was basically just getting projectiles fired at him over and over again. And he would just stop them for as long as he could. So he made the situation, it was an artificial inducement of Super Saiyan because he was in a training facility. But he was pushing himself to train and achieve a state through training. And Goku achieved it through heroic intervention in enduring circumstances. Although both of them have acted heroic and both of them have trained a lot, I think it's interesting that the first time each of them went Super Saiyan, Goku's was out of need to save the day for the right reasons, and Vegeta's was out of ambition to be the best and push himself as far as he could. That is my explanation of how Dragon Ball Z fits into the theory of the diathesis. Almost had it. Almost finished strong. It's okay. The stress model. Look it up. Peace.